The time is upon us again to once more turn these video game conferences into a blood sport in which only one champion can stand tall. Because Lord knows we have to turn everything into a competition. Yes, I speak of E3 2018. There were many a high and many a low. Let's get to it, shall we? Let's just get this out of the way. EA fucking sucked, as per usual. Was anyone expecting anything else? Like, really? It's EA. I should really only have to say that. However, there were a few things I wanted to cover. Now, this won't be a total coverage of the past few days, just the moments that stood out to me, but with the exception of Devolver Digital's E3 event, I've seen all the press conferences from EA to Nintendo. So let's not waste any more time. EA basically had nothing. Like, actually nothing. And yet they still sunk lower than low when they announced their new Command & Conquer game. Command & Conquer Rivals. A fucking phone game that they played a whole match of on stage. Wow! I should mention that I've never played a Command & Conquer game, but I do recognize and understand its significance within the RTS genre. And seeing this just feels like a kick in the face. It must suck to be a Command & Conquer fan in this day and age. The only other negative thing that came to mind was when Vince Zampella of Respawn Games showed up and said, "Hey, we're making a Star Wars game. We don't have anything to show. Like, absolutely nothing. But get excited anyway. 'Cause Star Wars." Don't get me wrong, I'm sure whatever this new Star Wars game is will be fine. Titanfall and Titanfall 2 were pretty well-received games, but this just annoyed me. Either bring something tangible to show, or just don't say anything. However, the event wasn't an absolute loss. Unravel 2 looks adorable and great, and it's out today, which seemed to be a real theme going throughout E3 as a whole. I never played the first Unravel, so maybe this is a good opportunity to check it out before trying this one. And Sea of Solitude looks like it's right up my alley. It's funny to think that this weird little indie title about a flooded world in which loneliness turns you into an actual monster, and a game about two little dudes made of yarn stole the show when compared to something like Battlefield 5 and Anthem. Sea of Solitude's monster designs, particularly this horrible looking thing, seems really fresh and I'm super looking forward to it. Microsoft was fucking awesome. I'm not a big Microsoft guy, I've always been more of a Sony and PC person, but I can't deny that they showed some good shit this year, and they showed it off well. I never played Ori and the Blind Forest, but I know that game was really well received, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm stoked for Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Compared to the gameplay of the first one that I'd seen, Will of the Wisp looks like it's a lot more involved, which is saying something. I'm surprised that FromSoft wasn't at Sony's show this year, considering they were pretty prominent the last few years with Bloodborne and such. I'm hoping this doesn't mean Sekiro is an Xbox exclusive. I doubt it is, but regardless, it looks fucking amazing. The movement and pace that made Bloodborne so good seemed to be increased by twofold here. And hey, it's not Tenchu, so that's a plus. What the fuck was up with Kingdom Hearts 3's audio? Seemed like everyone was having bad audio problems this year. We Happy Few finally has my interest again after years of me just not being interested. Initially I was exceptionally interested. I thought, yeah, this looks awesome! Then I found out it's a primarily procedurally generated survival game. That pretty much killed my interest then and there. In fact, those two words, procedurally generated, will instantly turn me off from a game, unless there's something else exceptional attached to it. But it seems like there's going to be an actual story to the game, so I might check it out. Might. They only showed a small bit of this game called Harold Halibut, but the moment I laid eyes on it, I was sold. So I had to look up the full proper trailer, and yup, I'm sold. A side-scrolling mystery game with point-and-click-esque gameplay, and it's got a beautiful stop-motion art style that looks like actual witchcraft was used to make. Just take my money. DMC is back! adrenaline pumping through my veins when I saw this could have fueled Chev Chelios for like 15 movies. Devil May Cry 5 is most likely coming to the PS4, hard to see it not being a multiplat, and I couldn't be happier. And what's this? What is this I see? Nero and Dante? Actual Dante? Not this fucking guy? Devil May Cry? More like Marcus Will, bye! Oh, fucking terrible. Cuphead DLC looks awesome, and so does Tunic, which is basically classic Legend of Zelda with an adorable little fox. Jump Force looks intriguing. I've seen some gameplay for it, and it seems like it's going to be a fighter of sorts. I have only one question, though. How is this punk ass gonna go up against these guys? Is he going to write names aggressively? Will he orgasmically eat potato chips to regain health? I'm actually looking forward to this simply because of the inclusion of Light Yagami. I want to see how they work him into this game. Battletoads. Just Battletoads. I know it's literally nothing, but I'm excited. Cyberpunk! I've been waiting 6 long years to see anything more about this game. And while I am disappointed that there is no release date yet, I feel confident that this is going to end up being one of my favorite video games when it eventually comes out. Based on this trailer, just going on the whole visual aesthetic, it feels like CD Projekt Red have a solid handle on things. Holy fuck, what a goddamn roller coaster. This started off so bad. Like, Jesus Christ. Nobody cares about Andrew WK doing a weird, cringy live performance. Hell, nobody even knew who he was among the people I was watching the show with. Even I mistook him for someone else at first. Thought it was John Romero. But after they got that out of the way, along with Elder Scrolls Online and Elder Scrolls the card game, the show picked up monumentally. A new Doom? Awesome! Wolfenstein Youngbloods? I'm definitely going to get that. The humor on stage? Fucking horrendous. Stop! Just stop! But then, Todd, our Lord and Savior Howard, took to the stage and proceeded to pleasure every single person there. It was quite impressive, to be honest. They announced Fallout 76 a few days before E3 began, and people pretty much knew that it was going to be a multiplayer Fallout game. And you know what? I'm excited. I actually think Bethesda did a great job with turning some things around in terms of their public image. Don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean they're not gonna pull some bullshit, and that doesn't mean I'm not gonna call them out for their bullshit. I've done some in the past, especially last year. But that bit with Skyrim on the Alexa was so fucking funny, I don't care who you are. Todd in general seemed to have a great attitude towards things, even going so far as to admit that, yeah, our games are buggy messes at the start. Going back to Fallout 76, the game itself doesn't look all that amazing. It looks almost identical to Fallout 4, and it's probably going to play a lot like Fallout 4, but playing with my friends is going to make that game 10 times more fun than Fallout 4. A game I don't necessarily like in terms of certain aspects, and it looks like they fixed the building mechanics, and I get to nuke people. And I really want that helmet. And, of course, there's Elder Scrolls 6. I can't say much, because there's honestly not really anything to go on other than they're making it. But I think the fact that they're making it at all is kind of impressive. I feel like this sort of makes up for all the Skyrim ports they've been doing. Hell, the only time they really mentioned Skyrim was when they poked fun at themselves. All around, good show. Shitty start, but it got real good. This will be quick. They had nothing. Literally nothing. Dragon Quest and an update to Final Fantasy Online. Now, if you like Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy Online, I'm sure you got a kick out of that, but I honestly couldn't care less. Everything else they showed was pretty much on display everywhere else. Kingdom Hearts 3's audio was still fucked, what's up with that? We did get to see some Tomb Raider gameplay, which did look kinda cool, but the whole time I was watching it, I couldn't help but remark, wow, when did Lara Croft turn into John Rambo?
I could have killed them all. I could have killed you. In town, you're the law. Out here, it's me. Don't push it. Don't push it, I'll give you a war you won't believe.
Platinum Games did reveal a new game, Babylon's Fall, and Platinum is always good, so there is that. What the fuck was up with this dude's hair? Leon? Is that you? Ubisoft is always a treat because they try really hard to be the embodiment of this.
How do you do, fellow kids?
They try so hard to be liked, and I honestly feel bad for them. Like, Ubisoft, relax. You're not EA. Not yet. They showed some more Beyond Good and Evil 2, which speaks to me on an aesthetic level. I never played the first one, but even I could recognize when Jade showed up in the new trailer, which has me even more interested. Strangely enough, the big takeaway for me in terms of Beyond Good and Evil 2 is the Space Monkey program they're implementing, in conjuncture with Hit Record, an art program co-founded by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, weird, which allows young, up-and-coming artists to put their work out there, possibly get it into Beyond Good and Evil 2, and get paid for it. I actually really support this. I think it's a great idea. Skull and Bones looks really fucking cool, although I find it absolutely hilarious that this game is just Assassin's Creed Black Flag's ship combat, fully fleshed out and turned into a full-blown game. Not complaining, I just find that humorous. I forgot Elijah Wood was making a video game. No, seriously, I totally forgot this existed. It baffles me that Toys to Life is still somehow a thing. I thought that shit died with Disney Infinity. What's even more baffling is how Starlink managed to get Star Fox. What dimension am I living in? However, he is only available on the Switch, which makes sense, I suppose. Still, surprising. People will probably just buy the R-Wing, though. And slap my ass and call me Marcus Aurelius. I'm super looking forward to playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's funny, I haven't touched an Assassin's Creed game and enjoyed it since 2, but Origins looked really cool to me, still haven't played it, and I definitely want to get Odyssey for 3 reasons. I love me some Greek settings, I love me some Spartan waifus, and I get to fight the fucking Minotaur. Sign me the hell up! This is going to be another short one, but not for the reasons you think. The PC Gaming Show was actually really good. Its attempts at humor, not so much. But the show itself was all around good. It's just a shame that very few of the games they showcased weren't that interesting to me. That's not really their fault, it just comes down to personal taste. However, there were a few games that I saw that did grab my attention. NeoCab looks really cool. I'm enjoying this resurgence of cyberpunk aesthetics that's been going around lately. It's probably not going to be the most thrilling of game experiences, but I enjoy a good story and a good mystery, so there's that. Although I did find it very bizarre that there were 2 cab driver-based games on display, and they both looked like they play the same, only one has a very black and white French film vibe going on. Strange. I had seen Hunt Showdown previously on the internet, and seeing more of it makes me really intrigued. I like the idea of hunting a monster, but you have, like, other hunters going after the same monster, so you have to contend with them too. It's like if Monster Hunter had you fighting monsters and the hunters. It's a neat idea, and I'm glad to see it's getting more attention. Also, it just looks really nice. The Sinking City looks okay. I know it's an indie game, so I can't complain too much about how the game looks, but it's kinda rough looking. That being said, it does look pretty ambitious with what it's trying to do. And I love me some H.P. Lovecraft, so there's that. Bravery Network Online has a fucking awesome art style. I just wish I knew more about it. It seems like it's going to be a turn-based RPG, maybe? I don't know. I just know that it looks really nice, and sometimes that's all it takes for me to like a game. And speaking of art styles that make me love a game before I play it, I'm really excited to get my hands on Sable. They showed this very briefly at the Microsoft show, and I really wanted to see more of it, and I'm glad I did. I don't think I've ever seen a game quite like this. It reminds me a lot of Journey, and from the sounds of it, it's going to play like it too, which I have zero problems with. I liked Journey. I'll be impressed by Star Citizen when it actually comes out. I was actually interested in Overkill's The Walking Dead until I actually saw the game. It looks so generic, like, beyond generic. It looks like fucking Left 4 Dead without any of the personality. And Hitman 2 looks exactly like Hitman 1. What in the fuck were you guys thinking? Sony! This was a bad idea! I know they meant well, and I admit I thought it was cute that the little chapel they were sitting in was the one that The Last of Us 2 trailer started off in. And The Last of Us 2 looks really fucking good. I'm super stoked for it. But fuck me sideways. Having us wait like 10 minutes so you can move the audience, and then spending way too long on that guy playing the flute? Mad props to that guy, by the way. He played the fuck out of that thing. No disrespect to him. Sony started off rough. More so than Bethesda. But like Bethesda, it got better as it went on. Shadow of Tsushima looks breathtaking. A few years ago, it was the year of the bow. Well, I think this marks the year of the ninja. It's hard to think that this is Sucker Punch, the guys and gals who made the infamous games. Yeah, weird, right? Whatever, sign me the fuck up. I'm always down for ninjas. I have no idea what Control is about or anything, but it's being made by Remedy, and I fucking love Remedy. Even though Quantum Break was a train wreck, and it looks like a fucking trip, that gun, I want that gun. I don't even know what the fuck that's about, but it looks really interesting. I want more. Goddamn. Resident Evil 2 Remake looks fucking impressive. This has been talked about, theorized, promised, and now after years, it's finally being done. There was a second trailer that they put out that showed what looked like some gameplay, and from the looks of it, it might play like Resident Evil 4, and there's rumors going around that it might have the option of playing with a fixed camera angle. Fuck, man. First Resident Evil 7, now this? Shit, yeah. But what's up with Claire's face? Why can they never get her face right? Why is it that Sony had the best Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer and not Square Enix? Like, that feels ass backwards. I still have no idea what Death Stranding is even about. I still have an erection, though, so that's a plus. On the serious note, though, I'm really fucking looking forward to this. It looks gonzo, insane, fucking nuts. There's an air of mystery surrounding it that I just haven't experienced before. Now that's a dangerous thing, because the game could end up being terrible. But I have hope. Kojima is a good game designer. I think he's proven that by now. So my hope is strong. And that's all I have. Because they didn't give me a release date. Just more questions. The trailer itself was fucking gorgeous and really held my attention. There were some seriously tense moments on display. If this is a horror game like some people have theorized it is, then fuck, man, it's gonna be a good one. Neo 2. Cool. Spider-Man looks exactly like what I wanted it to be. Spider-Man. Pure, undiluted Spidey action. It was nice to see who specifically was going to be in the game in terms of villains. Previously, they only showed that Mr. Negative was going to be a key character, and they showed the Shocker very briefly, but now we've got Electro, Rhino, Scorpion, Vulture, and even a new mystery villain that is absolutely 100% the Green Goblin. Like it just is. The gameplay looks like it's going to be fluid and smooth, very reminiscent of Spider-Man 2. That part with the jumping looked kinda bad, though. Honestly, Nintendo didn't show all that much, but that's usually how Nintendo rolls nowadays. Nintendo does its own thing and has micro E3s throughout the year, because they're Nintendo. Daemon X Machina looks fucking sick. It's like a fast-paced Armored Core, so I'm down. And it's got a nice cel-shaded look to it. Super Mario Party actually looks really fun. I don't know if I'd ever buy it myself. I don't even have a Switch, but it looks like it could be a good time. But get out of here, you know what stole the show, you know what everyone is going to be talking about. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate! We all knew it was going to be something special, but every character that's ever been in a Smash game, tweaks made to characters to make them better, that's all awesome, amazing, well and good, but let's not forget the most important thing. They brought my boy back! Snake is in the house! Oh, and Ridley's there too. E3 was pretty solid all around. Plenty of stuff to look forward to. Here's hoping none of it shits the bed.